me handling my life.
Hello, hello. That probably went live.
That's okay. I don't need a haircut. I'm gonna say it again.
I was just asking.
I'm gonna say it twice. I don't need no stinking haircut.
Oh, welcome. Pejaya, Jojo here. We are Comic Roots. Thank you so much for joining us. We had a couple little tech issues. I left my computer unplugged and
It seems live.
it seems like okay.
It seems live.
Yeah. A couple tech issues this morning, and left my computer unplugged or plugged back in. Things seem to be going, so we are here and ready. We hope you are too. How are you today? Feel free to leave a comment for us, check in, say hi. It was really sunny this morning, so we went for a walk with the dog. Hi, Mom. And on the way home, the wind started picking up, and Joel said it was windy on the way there, but I guess I didn't notice the wind on the way there. But on the way back, I noticed the wind, and there were some sprinkles happening. And we went and dropped off. I did absentee voting. I mailed in my ballot. I dropped it off at the drop-offs behind City Hall here in Alpena, as that is one option for the election. Very grateful that that's an option. So a little bit of voting happening. Joel's doing in person, yeah. So I did absentee, and Joel's gonna vote in person. Go vote. It's one of the things we can do. I feel like sometimes we get stereotyped, that we don't vote.
Well, I mean, as Americans, most don't.
That's true. It's true. But both of us do. So, alright. Let's get a little movement here today going for our practice. So let's start laying down in this moment. So go ahead and make yourself comfortable. There's no specific props you need today. But if you have a blanket and you want to bring that in behind your head as you lay down, feel free. I think I'm going to go without. And maybe consider keeping your knees bent in this moment, even taking the feet wide and letting the knees tip in toward one another, or you might stretch out long. Eyes open or closed. Find a place to let your arms rest, connect, then breathe. Noticing where you're connected, where you rise up away from the earth. Notice the temperature around you. Maybe feel your clothes against your skin. Excuse me. Feel like set an intention for this practice. Whatever might serve you, or simply just giving yourself permission to take a break for you in the middle of your day. And when you're ready, let the knees separate and start to gently rock the knees from side to side. Me inhaling through center and exhaling, letting the knees tip to the other side. Breathing in and out. And next time the knees tip to the right, pause there, and optional, turn your head to the left, pause here. Breathing in and breathing out. center, nose points up, knees to center, and then tip the knees to the left and maybe turn your head toward the right this time. Know that just for now, there's nowhere else you need to be. Nothing else you need to be doing. Coming back to center now. Pausing here for a moment. And bringing your attention to your low back. If you want, you can bring your feet a little bit closer so maybe they're in line with your hips or your sits bones. And on your next exhale, press your low back against your mat. Then with an inhale, arching it up, tipping the ribs upward, but keeping your glutes connected to the mat. Exhales, go back down. Inhales, find that lift and expansion. As you tip back and forth here, see where you notice the movement. Maybe you can feel it across your upper back. Maybe even feel the gentle shrugging on the back of your head. Maybe you notice your chin lifts and then tucks towards your chest slightly as you lift without forcing it. Now the next time you connect your low back to the earth, maintain that imprint. Your hands can be down by your sides here or open out to your sides. And this is going to be your check-in. So anytime your back starts lifting up at all, that's your clue to pause, maybe to take a little break, come out of the movement we're going to add in now. So we'll start with a slow marching. So while maintaining that imprint, slowly lift your right foot up off the floor, stacking the knee over the hip, no closer toward the chest. The closer you bring it over the chest, you'll notice the less your body asks you to do. Your shin is parallel to the ceiling here, and then slowly lower that foot back down. If you want, you can bring your hands and rest them on your hips just to notice a little bit more the neutral position. So we're not rocking side to side here, we're maintaining the imprint. Left foot can come back down. So slow march, one leg at a time, bringing it up, lower. And you might see what breathing pattern feels right for you. Maybe it's an inhale when you lift and exhale when you lower. Or maybe it's an exhale when you lift. An inhale as you lower. Play with that. Continue marching here. You might add in bending the elbows and reaching your fingertips toward the sky, so less of your arm supporting you here. Maybe you don't notice a difference here. That's okay. You can always bring the hands back down, either on the mat or on your hip bones. Watch your form. Keep it steady. You can kind of peek and look. And then, if you'd like to try the next option, the next time you lift that right leg up, that right foot up, keep it lifted with the knee stacked over the hip, shin parallel. And then bring the left leg up next to it. And already you might notice more recruitment of the muscles. Now, if your low back lifts up here, come back to the marching. From here, dip the right toe down toward the floor and then softly, slowly bring it back up. And again, watch your form here. We want that 90 degrees. And it can be very tempting to draw the knees in over the heart, but keep them stacked. And even if you take them a little further away, you'll notice a little more recruitment happening. Maintain imprint into the earth here. Toe dips or marching. Maybe the hands are reaching. Maybe the whole arms reach up toward the sky. Plug your shoulder blades against the earth. Dipping. Check your form. Breathe in. Are we inhaling to lift and exhaling to lower, or exhaling to lift? Inhaling to lower. Keep going. Take breaks anytime. Speaking of which, I'm going to go ahead and soften for a moment and sway the knees side to side. That kind of feels good. It might also feel good to hug the knees towards your chest and rock on your back. Wherever you are, let's come back into it. Stacking, dipping, reaching arms. Your choice. Watch your form. Option, instead of dipping the toes, you could start to extend the leg, pointing through the toes, bringing the knee back. The lower you drop your heel toward the earth, the more it's gonna take to maintain that imprint toward the earth. So it's up to you to monitor. If your low back starts lifting up, a little too far. It's your clue. Breathe. One more, wherever you are. And then let it go, hugging knees in or windshield wipering the legs. And then wherever you are, go ahead and roll onto your side. Whichever side you roll onto is just fine here. If you happen to have a blanket or pillow or something to tuck under your bottom cheek, go ahead and do that, and then reach your arms. I'm going to scooch back a little bit here just so stay in that camera. Knees can tuck up toward the chest. Stack your top arm on top of the bottom arm right out in front of you. And then reach through that top hand as if you're going to slide the fingertips across the floor forward. Feel your shoulder blade shift. And then start to retract the arm. Trace a line up the bottom palm, forearm, elbow to that bottom arm, shoulder. And then fingers across your chest and collarbone. You can let your chest start to turn toward the ceiling and dip your top elbow back behind you. And then slowly unwind. There's no special breathing pattern here. Just keep breathing. Reach. And then draw that top palm across the bottom. Forearm, elbow, upper arm, across your collarbone, and dip the top elbow back behind you. Maybe letting your gaze, your head turn to face toward the ceiling. Maybe it feels good to pause here, to breathe here. Or maybe you keep flowing. Maybe the top arm wants to open up behind you as if you're going to bring the back of that hand to the floor behind you. And when you're ready to flow again, bend that top elbow and slowly trace your line, moving across. One more. Curl up on your side, maybe bend both your elbows and bring your hands up by your cheek. Go ahead and roll back onto your spine and have your knees towards your heart. Bring your hands to cup the kneecaps and start to stir the knees round and round. ready, roll onto your other side. We'll set up there. Arms out in front. Top hand reaches and then gently makes its way across the bottom arm, across the collarbone, dipping the top elbow behind. Maybe your gaze shifts back toward the ceiling. Your heart starts to turn toward the ceiling. And gently back across. Do this a couple times. Then if it feels good to extend that top arm open, you might. Moving, we're inviting a little pause, breathing. From here, eventually meeting on your side. If you're bending the elbows, bringing the hands up by the cheek. And gently make your way this time onto your front side. Good, tops of the feet. Press into the mat. Lift your hearts up, bringing your elbows in under your shoulders. You can spread your fingers out. On an exhale, tuck your chin towards your chest. On an inhale, think of sending the front side of your body a little bit more into the earth and look forward. So exhale, curl in. Inhales, lifting up the head. Back and forth. If you want, you can lift a little bit more, rooting into the elbows and almost lifting up onto the knees. Inhales, lower back down. Breathe. When you're ready, making your way to a child's pose. If you want, you can come with me or go into that child's pose any way that best serves you. Lifting here onto the knees and bringing the hands in, sending back. Child's pose. Now, from here, see it in your mind before moving. The most easeful way you can make your way all the way up to standing. So see it first, however it might be, and then start to make your way there, taking any poses you like on the way. Maybe a forward fold, where you let the top of your head hang down toward the earth and you bend the knees and hang out. Slowly we'll all meet standing with our hands at our heart. Taking the feet just a little bit wide in this moment. Good. And then hands coming to the back of the head here. You might even interlace the fingers, letting the elbows go nice and wide and open. We'll bend in the knees here. Lean the head back into the hands here. And then slowly start to draw a circle to one side or the other. And as you do, your elbows can come forward. And then draw a circle downward as much as what feels good. Spiral to the other side. And think of peeling open with that top elbow, lifting, rising up, leaning your head back into your hands. And then repeating that. So this is at your pace, your size circle. Lift with the top elbow back, leaning back. Maybe reverse directions. Keep breathing. Maybe you notice yourself finding a breathing pattern that feels good. Rising up, let's meet there. Reach the arms out. Make a big, wide shape. Turn the toes out slightly along with the knees. And as you exhale, bend the elbows and bend the knees. Inhale's reaching up. Exhale's finding that bent knees. Think of sending the sits bones back. Reach to the pinky edges of your feet here. Reach. Let's do 2 more. 1 more. Hold at the bottom. Good. Take one arm down and one arm up and over and lean back to center, switching opposite. Keep reaching through the pinky toe edges of those feet. Back to center, arms to a T, cactus arm option. Reaching up, hands to the hips, bring the toes in line with the heels, knees forward. Inch of the hips, bend the knees, all the way down toward the earth. Your hands could reach toward the earth, or they could stay on your hips or come onto your legs. You could take your feet a little wider, heel toeing, a wide forward fold. Feel free to slide from side to side here, bending one knee, straightening the other. Come back to center and bring the hands up onto the legs. Bend the knees a lot. Hands onto the upper legs now, lifting, leading all the way up. Heel toe back in. Good. Sweep your arms up. Maybe look up. Exhale, hinge on the hips, dive all the way down. Inhale halfway. And exhale, bend the knees enough to plant the hands. Coming back to tabletop. Knees wide, toes come together. Sink your hips towards your heels, they don't need to touch. Find your version of child's pose in this moment. Letting the forehead come down to the mat. Breathing here. Now, check in to see if there's any other movement you would like to invite in before finding your final resting pose. Maybe some cats and cows and tabletop, or circling the hips, or maybe something else, maybe coming onto your back and drawing your knees towards your chest. That's where I'm heading. Oh. Be reminded of whatever intention you invited. Eventually, find that place to rest. Whether you stretch out long, or maybe keeping the knees bent, or even reclining down at an angle with the bottoms of the feet touching the knees, opening like a butterfly. Allowing that natural rhythm of your breath to be here now, to take this time to rest and receive. light movement, or if you would like to take a longer savasana, give yourself permission to be here, to rest. Otherwise, I'll meet you seated. Take your time. Enjoy the transition to meet and greet the rest of your day. As always, we're so grateful that you've chosen to join us. We're deeply humble. May we know peace, wisdom, and serenity as we continue to fill and support our hearts. Thank you. Have a good day. We'll see you next time.